blockage.
Welcome back to another episode of Blunt Talk Podcast. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Shout out to y'all for staying with me and still, viewing the content and loving the content and interacting with me. I love y'all. Shout out to my YouTube family. Thank you guys for tuning in and just showing love and support. I really appreciate it. And of course, shout out to all my audio listeners. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. And welcome back to episode 14. I know this week is a little different. You guys are receiving double episodes due to technical difficulties. Episode 13 did not drop at the anticipated time. So I said, why not do double episodes, double Blunt Talk podcast, and double Randy? You feel me? So here we are. This is the actual drop. Everything's back to normal. So you guys are watching this on Friday. Shout out to y'all. And then last episode 13 was dropped yesterday on Thursday, and it's called Are You Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed that. We got into some things. And as you already know, on episode 14, we're going to get into even some more things. So much has happened, and I just thought I want to share with you. So without further ado, let's jump into our first segment, which is the social media segment. There's two things that I definitely want to talk about in regards to this. So the first thing that I definitely want to talk about, shout out to Rob49. I don't know if you guys heard the story. If not, I'll definitely play it for you all right here.
Another story you'll see only on 6. New Orleans native rapper Rob49 gifting some New Orleans fathers this weekend just in time for Father's Day by paying the bonds for some nonviolent offenders who are fathers over at Orleans Parish Jail. A cause important for the rapper who says he remembers how tough things were for him as a child.
And I grew up, my dad was incarcerated, and I know how much like him being out could have helped my life. Being able to help dads that could get out of petty crimes that been in there 8 months, 9 months behind $3,000 and $4,000, like that's nothing. You can change a little kid's life.
Now, the downtown New Orleans native also has a concert tonight, his annual Father's Day event at the arena this year, calling it Vulture Island Weekend.
So that was a wonderful story. Shout out to Rob49 for definitely bailing out those 3 nonviolent fathers out of jail on Father's Day. I think that is amazing. I think people, well, first of all, for this to happen for Father's Day is during Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I just think that was so big. People don't really understand how important it is and the severity of growing up with your parents. And a lot of trauma that comes from not having your parents. I couldn't imagine having an incarcerated parent, so I can't relate to that. But just what I can relate to is growing up and having an active parent. So I don't know if you guys know, but my mom passed away August 8th, 2020, Jesus Christmas, August 8th, 2008. She committed suicide. So I had to transition to only being around my father. And, you know, at that time I was a teenager and I was going through teenage girl things and hormones and trying to be a teenage girl. And I had my father right by my side. And some people aren't lucky enough to have that, but having my father by my side allowed me to really get to know men and observe men differently, because all I did was really I was with my mom and her husband, but I didn't really observe my stepdad. Like I was really underneath my mom. So I could just imagine being a child, knowing you have a dad and your dad being incarcerated for a petty crime. So I just think that was amazing. And I'm loving what the new artists are doing, which is things like this. Like it's cool to go to the clubs and it's cool, you know, to be out with your homeboys, but it's nice to see people giving back to their community and also just more importantly, like doing things that matter. Sitting on Instagram, yelling at your phone on live doesn't necessarily matter all the time. And no one's getting anything out of that. Of course, you're getting a check out of that for Instagram, but to actually potentially have the capability to change someone's life, that's big. And he's a young man. So for a young man to be doing this is amazing. And I just wanted to share that and highlight because we don't highlight all the good that Black men do. Like, for instance, why do we always talk about deadbeats when there's dads that are active and amazing and literally just amazing? Why? Why do we highlight deadbeats? Deadbeats will always be there. Deadbeat moms, deadbeat dads, deadbeat family. I just want us to start highlighting the positive. We're so desensitized to all the negative that it's just like, what the fuck? Okay, so that was the first story. The second story I want to dive into is the negative, as I just said all that. Oh, brother. I wanted to dive into the game and his daughter. I'm every so months, the game is in the media with his daughter Callie. And if anyone remembers the game when he had the reality TV show, we basically watched his daughter grow up. So we're like her aunties on social media, right? So, of course, the game took pictures with his daughter, and I'll include them here. And the fucking internet was in shambles. They were literally like over sexualizing the pictures with the game and his daughter. And it really made me upset because everything is over sexualized. Like, you don't remember giving your dad a hug and sitting on your dad's lap and just being comforted and loved on by your father to not be a non-sexual manner? Like, how come once everything crosses social media, it's sexual? And then when you look at these pictures, they're not even sexual. It's just a father and his daughter. I don't know if maybe it's because, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna take it back because ain't no one finna beat my ass. But is it because Callie is a cute girl and the game is a handsome man? So because they are both fairly attractive people, it puts everything in a sexual manner. Because I'm sorry, if there's an ugly kid hugging their dad, I don't see uproar. When what was it? And I'm not saying Zaya, whatever the fuck D-Wade's daughter is, um, the one that transitioned. Didn't they have some pictures where they were hugging and stuff like that and no one took it serious? Why? Why wasn't that sexualized? Is it because of the situational? Like, it's situational? Is it because it's just selective outrage? I don't know. I just really wish people would leave people alone, especially with things like this. Like, to push this narrative on a father who's an active father, who has always been an active father. And for his little girl is sort of kind of sick. And then you wonder why celebrities don't want to introduce their kids to y'all. Like, it's just that simple. They introduce their kids to y'all. You're over here sexualizing everything. You're over here diagnosing people's babies due to WebMD. Like, is that not weird to y'all? Like, are y'all okay? Are you guys okay? Because it's not making sense to me. And I really hate that. And it's just like, every single thing we do is over sexualized. If women have friends with the opposite sex, over sexualized, because people just can't fathom people having platonic friendships and they be the opposite sex. This instance, a father and a daughter taking pictures, over sexualized. Clothing, over sexualized, like everything. This is such a hypersexual time in the world that it's just crazy. And I really want us to take a step back and like just stop. Like, not everything is that. And not everything needs to be deemed as that. And sometimes, can y'all just shut the fuck up? Most importantly, like, I don't know if people be trying to do things for clickbait or just trying to get put on the blogs, but it's like, that was just so stupid. And if I was the game, I would definitely, most definitely not, and I mean not post anything anymore. I'm not doing it, especially now with my daughter. Like, y'all not even, listen, y'all can't even sit with us realistically But now y'all can't even see us. Y'all always want to be so in tune with celebrities' lifestyles and stuff like that, that when they give you a chance to do that, here y'all go. Here y'all go. Pushing narratives that just don't fucking matter. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Um, yeah. So that's what I have for the social media segment. I want to get into some things. I want to talk about some media. Let's do a little transition. So this month has been a banger with shows that came out. Okay. We have Bridgerton. Okay. For the girls that know, for the girls that get it. So we have Bridgerton, then we have The Boys, then we have Sisters, then we have Power. Like there was just so much good TV that was released that I am literally just sitting here like my days are, well, not my days, my nights, my mommy times are filled with catching up. Let's get into some things with Bridgerton. I don't know if Bridgerton has crack in it, but Bridgerton is the only show that I can literally watch in all one day. Mind you, those fucking episodes are an hour, and I'll be like this, tape on my eyes and everything, trying to watch Bridgerton. Bridgerton, I believe it's created by written and things like that by well, not written because they're actually a book series, but I believe the producer is Shonda Rhimes. And what I mean to tell you, Shonda Rhimes put her foot into Bridgerton, which is not even surprising because Shonda Rhimes also um had something to do with Scandal as well. So Scandal also had, that was another show that had me in a chokehold at that time. But Bridgerton is literally every hopeless romantic's dreams, especially for season 3 when it comes to Penny and Colin. Watching, I don't know. This might be a little far-fetched, but watching Bridgerton, I genuinely want and wish for a love like that. Like it is just the love story, the writing, the anticipation, the passion. It is so fucking unmatched. It's crazy. Then we have The Boys. The Boys is a very gory show. It is on Prime. Sorry, Bridgerton's on Netflix. The Boys is on Prime. Very gory show. It's about superheroes living amongst Americans and basically helping the government rule the world and all the things and trial tribulations that they go through. That shit fucking insane. First of all, season dropped 1 to 3 episodes. Those episodes were an hour and some odd change long. Action packed. If you're looking for an action packed show, The Boys is definitely it. They also have a spinoff called Gen 5. RIP to one of the actors. They passed away in a motorcycle accident earlier this year. So we just have to see how they're going to continue with Gen 5. Just so you know, The Boys is ending at season 5, and I believe this is season 4. So we have one more season of action packed shit that is going on. Tap in. Gen 5 and The Boys can be found on Prime. Then we have Power. I don't know about y'all, but the Power universe has always had me in a chokehold. I love every show that has been dropped in the Powerverse is amazing. I can't wait for them to all finish up so I can go back and watch it from the beginning and just put everything together so I could see the characters that carried over from Power Book 1 and what have you. Tariq is doing an amazing job. I hope he's doing okay from what happened at that stream. That still just doesn't sit right with me, but we're not going to dive into that because you saw episode 13. I went in. Um, that can be found on Stars. And then I forgot another show dropped. Drum roll, please. Fucking The House of Dragon came back. First of all, if you are the type of person that doesn't watch Game of Thrones or have never watched the Game of Thrones, I'm telling you, you just don't like good TV. You do not like good TV. You do not like a good watch. There's so many people that I put onto the Game of Thrones that are like, oh, at first, oh, fuck that show. That show's corny. Da, 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 I can't get into it. And then when they finish it, they're like, excuse me? And there's no more? So the House of Dragon opened up. What I love is, you know how like when a show opens up It could be a little slow. It wasn't slow. Like, okay, it could be a little slow and like unentertaining. It was slow, but it wasn't so slow where it was a hard watch. It was just the perfect temperature for the season opener. So I cannot wait to see episode 2, which is dropping on Sunday. That can be found on HBO Max. And then Sisters, I don't know. I love me a little bit of everything. So Tyler motherfucking Perry, bro. Tyler Perry has been having Sisters on BET for, I believe this is like season 7 now, in a chokehold. So good. If you're looking for a drama, you know how Tyler Perry gets down. Go right on over to BET Plus and catch up on Sisters. And also for my ladies, all the queens, the men. Y'all ain't hear that. Y'all ain't hear that. So yeah, these are the shows that I'm watching that I think y'all should check out. I would not steer y'all in the wrong direction. Definitely go check those out and then we can come back and talk about those. Let me know how y'all feel. And yeah. So without further ado, let's jump into the last segment of the episode, which is my favorite segment. It's called the Bluntly Bite segment. I have a Bluntly Bite from someone that I would love to read. And the Bluntly Bite goes like this. My low sex drive is making me feel empty inside. Me, which is a female who's 25, and my partner, who's a male 28, have been together for about a year and a half. Our communication is great and we hardly argue at all. With my previous experience in dating, I really can't complain at all. The issue I have is with myself. We don't have sex a whole lot like we used to. He's not complaining. We are both busy with our jobs and we both usually are tired. I feel like my sex drive just isn't there sometimes and it's frustrating me. I feel bad. I'm trying to keep up the romance by buying him flowers and doing little things that make him happy and such, which he appreciates immensely. We are now just getting financially stable after a year of struggle on both of our ends. We got pregnant back in October. We were both devastated. Excuse me. We were both devastated when I had to get an abortion, but it was best given our situation at the time because we were both homeless. Especially since then, we both haven't had a drive. Is when I both noticed we lost a little bit of our sex drive. I just really want the spark to come back. He hasn't complained once or made me feel bad about us not having sex. So this is literally just me having an internal conflict. Has anyone been through something similar? I just feel empty inside. Okay. So I wouldn't be me without getting personal and a little serious. So welcome to the monthly bite segment. Yes, I can relate. In a previous relationship of mine, I was with this person for about 6 to 7 years. Um, Same thing happened. We got pregnant. And me, I'm the type of person when something happens, whether it's good, bad, or the ugly, I'm gonna figure out how to turn the situation, how to water that situation to grow flowers. So that person was not with it and he was adamant on getting it AB. And I'm very much so the type of person that's like, listen, it takes two to tango. At that point, I was like 18 or so. I did not want to be a single mom. In my brain, I didn't know how that would even look. I always wanted to have a family. So because he said no and the baby's half his, I decided to get rid of it. Now, with me getting rid of our child, I told him these are my beliefs. I don't believe in things like that, but I'm not going to trap you per se because like niggas love the trapping lingo. I'm not going to trap you per se, but just know like once this is done, I'm done. Like I just thank you. Next caller, come again. I just can't get with it. I didn't want to continue relationship. Especially with the gaslighting shit that he was doing after, like the man would literally, after my procedure, about 2 weeks or 3 weeks would go by and the niggas like texting me, oh, I just wish I knew what our child looked like. Oh, okay. So although that situation is different, it's sort of kind of similar because after that whole situation, I didn't have a sex drive with him. On top of me being scared just having sex altogether because I was like, sex equals babies for real. Like, I've been playing with fire for damn near how many years? Yeah. Yeah, actually, I was not 18, I lie. I was definitely like, I was after I was 21, so maybe like 22, 23. But yeah, I was like, I don't want to have sex. I don't want to have sex with you, especially because God forbid this happens again, you're gonna make me do it again. And on top of that, I just was not sexually attracted to him. But in your instance, you guys are still very much so together. This this sort of kind of just happened. You guys needed to do that because it wasn't in y'all plans at the time. What I will say is just have a conversation. Although he is not complaining, just check his temperature and see how he is mentally. Because although you had the procedure done, that abortion can still affect him as well. And sometimes men just don't know how to articulate that, or men sometimes feel like they need to go through things alone, or maybe he's thinking, I don't want to tell her how I feel about this when she could be feeling this way about it. That's pretty selfish of me. I feel like you guys should just have a conversation. Communication is key to a relationship, and it could potentially help y'all figure out whether if y'all need to go talk to that lady, aka a therapist, couples therapy, individual therapy, or if y'all just need to talk to each other and cry with each other and literally be each other's safe space during such a vulnerable time. I would also say if you feel comfortable, why not keep up with the intimacy and getting flowers and things like that, but why not get some lingerie one day, and on top of giving him a gift, you dress up for him, you get yourself feeling sexy so that maybe he's like, "Damn, look at all of that," and maybe that's how that will go. I'm gonna say this again. Definitely communicate. Let him know how you feel. Let him know let him know, like, "Hey, I noticed that we haven't been as sexual. What's tea?" And then maybe it's time that you just start to flick the bean a little bit. Just play with yourself a little bit, get yourself in that space so that maybe he can get in that space too. Maybe play with yourself in front of him, role play, spice it up, bring the sexiness back. It's very hard after an abortion to feel sexy and to bring that sexiness back. But if you have the right partner, then you're able to become that again, if that makes sense. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I hope you guys like this Bluntly Bite segment. I really do like this Bluntly Bite segment. But to be honest with you, that's all I have with you guys for episode 14. I just want to come touch on a little basis of what I've seen on social media, give my take on some things, and of course, talk our Bluntly Bite. Stay tuned. Episode 15 is going to be on the way. We have an interview brewing. I can't wait. Can't wait to tell y'all when that will be. We also are going to be collaborating with one of the best podcasts that I watch. One of my favorite podcasts. We'll be collaborating with that podcast coming up soon. I'm not going to tell you the name or the date. Just stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed episode 13 and 14. Thank you for tuning in with me on the double episodes, double the Blunt Talk podcast, and double the Randy. Period. I love you all. Thank you guys for tuning in with me again. Shout out to my audio listeners. Shout out to my YouTube family. Without y'all, there will be no me. Don't forget to head on over to _ Blunt Talk Podcast, send in your viewers suggested topics if that's what you would like to do. Don't forget to also, if you would like to see someone specific on the podcast from the local area or another podcast that you watch, send over their name to _ Blunt Talk Podcast and we can see if we can get a collaboration going. Also, last but not least, and most importantly, please go over to thatsfair.com and shop the Blunt Talk Podcast merch. We have shirts, shorts, hoodies, and backpacks, okay? I also have a discount code that will save you 20% off. That discount code is Blunt Talk 24. Don't forget, once you get your merch, take a picture, send it over to me so I can feature you in the story. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.